Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Tiger Softball Complex. Game 2 of a doubleheader against the Bears of University of Pikeville. Tigers dropped Game 1 by a score of 3-2 in extra innings. UPike with a charge in the later innings scored one in the seventh, two in the top of the eighth to take advantage and take the lead 3-2 against Georgetown. In that matchup right there, UPike only got 5 hits, 1 error, while scoring 3 runs. They left 8 on base. Georgetown only scored 2 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors, one of those errors being costly in those later innings, allowing another run to come across, but left 11 runners on base. And as I talked about before, towards the end of the Game 1 broadcast, Georgetown got their leadoff hitter on 6 times of 8 innings, but in those 6 times that leadoff runner got on, they only scored once, and that was in that 8th inning, courtesy of the home run from Caitlyn Barnett. So Tigers, in order to be effective in this next game, game number 2, they need to get their leadoff hitter on early, and they need to be able to drive them in as well. Before we get started for game number 2, let's take a quick look at the defense for Georgetown. So in to replace Brooke Chick in left field is going to be Sabrina Sizemore. In center field, still Kristen Klemesh. In right field, Kylie West. Across the diamond in the infield for Georgetown, it's going to be Caitlyn Barnett at third, Carly Oliver at short, Cassie Reynolds at second, Lindsey Mitchell at first. Back behind the dish is going to be Madie Sims, and in the circle now is going to be Sarah Claxon for the Tigers. Due up for the Bears to lead it off once again, Zoe Ingram, the shortstop. She'll go ahead and take that one for strike number 1. So we are underway in game number 2, once again, of this doubleheader senior day ceremony to follow after this second game. We will get the opportunity to celebrate 3 special seniors today. Madie Sims behind the plate is one of them. Megan Brankamp, she was the pitcher in game number 1, is the second. And then Annie Campbell, who's the designated player in this matchup, is the third senior that we will be celebrating today. Once again, Ingram at the plate. She was 0 for 2 in game number 1. Chops this one down to third. Barnett, good stop to her backhand right there. Throws across the diamond and is able to get Ingram out at first. It's a great play by Barnett over there at third base. She's made a handful of great defensive plays, one of them that you just saw right there. Sophie Klusner, the second baseman, now up to bat for the Bears. That one shot foul. Barnett laying out once again to her backhand to try and get that. That one gets past her, but it is foul, so the count now 0-2. Sarah Claxon in the circle, for Georgetown. She's coming into this one with a 5.4 ERA. This is her 19th start of the year. She's given up 75 runs on 137 hits and 92 innings pitched. 17 walks, 33 strikeouts on the year. That one chopped to Barnett. Once again, she's going to field it. That one slips out of her glove as she dives forward. UPike dugout telling their runner to go to second, Madie Sims, to try and collect it and throw it over. Unusual play right there. Klusner taking advantage of it. And there's nothing really you can do if you're Barnett over at third base. She did what she could to try and field that ball right there. Probably an infield hit for Klusner, as even if Barnett would have come up to try and make that play, it would have been close, and Klusner probably would have been able to reach base safely. Macy Jones in the box takes strike one. In game number 1, Jones 0 for 3. She hits that one to deep right field. Kylie West making a catch on the right field line. Klusner will go ahead and take third on that batted ball. So now there's 2 outs here in the top of the first. Pike with a runner at third base just 60 feet away. Claypool, the left fielder now. She was the starting pitcher in game number 1, threw well over 150 pitches. Fouls that one back for strike number 1. Claxon, the 0-1 pitch. That one missing down. Madie Sims trying to get a back pick. To no avail. Count now 1-1 to Claypool at the plate. In game number 1, Claypool went 8 innings pitched, 7 hits, given up, 6 walks, 6 strikeouts. Once again, that was in the circle. Claypool did that. To bat, she was 0 for 4. She had a strikeout, fly out, line out, and a pop out. Now with a 2-1 count right here, good hitters count. Claxon finds the inside corner for strike 2. 2-2 count. Claxon trying to put away Claypool. That one chopped over to Randalls at second base. She gathers it, makes a throw across over to first for the final out of the inning. So that'll do it for the Bears in the top of the first. For Georgetown, in the bottom of the first, the 1-2-3 hitters, Oliver, Klemesh, and Mitchell to the plate. We're going to step away for just a moment. We do appreciate everybody for tuning in and watching. If you've been with us all the way since the start of game number 1, we do appreciate you. And if you're just joining us, we thank you for tuning in as well. We're going to step away for just a moment. You're watching softball on the Tiger Sports Network here on Stretch. Welcome back, folks, to the Tiger Softball Complex. Carly Oliver, the leadoff hitter for Georgetown, to step to the plate. In the circle for Pike is going to be number 16, Caitlyn Mullins. Mullins on the year for Pike. She's coming in this one with a 4.56 ERA. This is her 14th start of the year. She's given up 39 runs on 67 hits in 50.2 innings pitched. delivers that one over the plate for strike one to start this one off. Hopefully she can follow, hopefully for UPike, she can follow their performance set by Claypool. Claypool early and often went to go ahead and attack the Tiger hitters. Georgetown early on in game number one did an excellent job of fighting off a lot of her tougher pitches, and worked their way on base. Do have a 3-0 count at the plate. That one just catching the corner, now 3-1. In game one, Oliver was 1 for 3 with 2 walks. She did get the final out in that bottom of the 8th inning. 0-1 pitch popped up to the first baseman, Osborne, who stepped back to try and make the play. She gets a base hit right here.
Now batting the center fielder, number 2.
So leadoff single for the Tigers here in the bottom of the first inning. I mentioned it at the top of this broadcast right here. Tigers needing to not only get that leadoff runner on, but also work together to string at bats to get that leadoff runner across. That's where they have found their most success throughout the season, specifically in that series against Midway. That one missing up, catcher missing that actually hit off the top of the umpire's face mask, excuse me. Oliver over at first, unable to take second. Klemesh at the plate. Carly Oliver does take off on the pitch, and she will get in there safely. Tigers now have runner at second base. For Oliver, she's now 15 for 16 in stolen bases attempts. She did have a stolen base in game one. Klemesh 0 for 2 in game number one, looking to try and get her over right here. In game one, the Tiger offense really struggled to get a handful of bunts down. A lot of those girls stabbing at the ball got underneath it, and they popped it up a handful of times, which with a lot of speed in this Tiger offense, it's important just to be able to get the ball down to not only try and reach base safely yourself, but also to move runners over when the situation calls for it, this being one of those types of situations. Got a full count at the plate to Klemesh. Mullins delivers. That one slapped down towards that UPike dugout. Count remains the same. Mullins in the circle, the tallest player for UPike at 6'1". Megan Nethercutt, she was an outfielder. She was a left fielder in game number one. She's the next tallest at 6 foot. But definitely a presence in the circle, only a short distance away. Klemesh grounds this one out to shortstop. Carly Oliver quick to take third on the ground out. So productive at bat for Klemesh. Good base running by Oliver. She got herself over to third. Typically in that situation, you need to work to get the ball on the other side, so on the right side of the field and on the right side of second base to allow that runner to advance more easily. But Oliver with some good speed, easily able to make it over to third. Mitchell now in the box, fouls that one up over the right side for strike one. Mitchell in game one was pretty quiet. She was 0 for 4 on the day with a pair of flyouts and a pair of groundouts. That one missing low and away by Mullins. Count now 1-1. 1-1 pitch. That one inside. Mitchell looked like she was just trying to fight that one off. Does get a piece of it. Count 1-2. Situation like that, 1-1, you're not really forced to swing the bat, even if it is a strike on the inner half. You don't risk putting a bad ball in play. By a bad ball, of course, I mean a ball that's softly hit, that's easily made by the defense. Mitchell pokes this one into right field. Right fielder Bowling's giving chase. That ball will clear the fence. Lindsey Mitchell, 2-run home run. Lindsey Mitchell with the two-run home run. 1-2 count, pitch on the other half. Lindsey Mitchell goes the other way with it. Ball driven deep. Thought it was going to stay inside the park. Wind blowing out to right. Helped it out a little bit. Bolin was given chase, but to no avail as that one does clear the fence. Georgetown now up quick, 2-0. For Mitchell, that's her 8th home run of the year. She now ties Carly Oliver for the most home runs on the team at 8. Madie Sims, the next closest at 7. Barnett, the third baseman, now up in the batter's box. Barnett had herself a game in game number 1. She went 3 for 4 in the game. 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored. Both of those coming from solo home runs. One in the bottom of the 6th, one in the bottom of the 8th. She pokes that one to deep center field right there. Center fielder Bird giving chase will make the catch at the warning track. That's a great catch by Bird. Good piece by Barnett at the plate. There's nothing you can do about it. It was good hitter's count. You hit the ball hard, and Bird in center field made a great play on the ball. Madie Sims now up, the catcher for Georgetown. Typically not the game 2 catcher. Ella Forrest usually comes in, but the fact that it is senior day today, Madie Sims getting another start behind the plate. Sims 1 for 3 in game number 1 with a double and a walk. Takes 2 pitches low and away. Count now 2-0. As I talked about, that's exactly what you want to see. Once the leadoff hitter for your team gets on base, you need to find a way to bring them around to score, and Lindsey Mitchell was able to do that for the Tigers. But here with 2 outs, Madie Sims is in a good position to get on base as well and to continue to keep the rally going. Mullins, 23 pitches in the inning so far. 11 strikes, 12 balls. Misses away and walks Madie Sims. Now batting is going to be the second baseman, Cassie Reynolds.
Number 13, Reynolds.
Randall's looking to continue the rally here in the bottom of the first. Randall's went 0 for 2 in game number 1. She was walked and she had a hit by pitch in that game. Take strike 1 here. And she'll get hit again right here. This one looks like that was in that upper shoulder. She tried to get out of the way to no avail. It does end up clipping her. So Tigers now have runners at first and second.
Now batting.
Looks like there is going to be a pitching coach visit right now. April Charles to go out and talk with Mullins. So the Tigers causing some havoc here in the bottom of the first inning, and this is what you would expect normally from this Tigers offense. A little bit of a fluke, you can say, not really the Tiger offense in game number 1, not really attacking like they normally do and stringing together hits. Seem to be doing a better job of it here in the bottom of the first. Due up after this mound visit is going to be Annie Campbell. She is the designated player for Georgetown. And while there was a little bit of a break in the action, we can go through the Pikeville defense really quick. In left field is Claypool. In center field is Bird. In right field is Bowling. In the infield over at third is going to be White. Sophie Klusner at second base, Zoe Ingram at shortstop, and then at first base, Macy Jones. Behind the plate is Brenna Souls. And in the circle, is Caitlyn Mullins. So it's a brief look at the UPike defense. But now back at the plate, Annie Campbell takes strike 1. Mullins missing that one away. Count now 1-1. Campbell in game number 1, 2 for 4. It's this 1-2 center field. Bird coming in on it at first. That one tips off the end of her glove. 2 runs will come around to score. That's Sims and Reynolds. Campbell with a 2-out knock. Georgetown now up in this one 4-0. Sabrina Sizemore in the box. Takes strike 1. This is her first plate appearance of the day. She's over in left field and to replace Brooke Chick. Other than that, the Tiger lineup outside of Sarah Claxton in the circle, pretty much the same. Sizemore pops this one up to second base, and so that'll do it for Georgetown here in the bottom of the first, but not before they score 4.
4 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, 1 left. We head to the second inning. Tigers 4.
Tigers doing a good job of striking first, but also extending the lead against UPike. Of course, with that 2-run home run by Lindsey Mitchell, but also just continue to string together at bats with 2 outs. That's exactly what you need to do. Due up for UPike as we go into the top of the second inning is going to be the 5, 6, 7 hitters. Klusner, Bird, and Souls to the plate. We're going to step away for just a moment. We do appreciate everybody tuning in and watching softball here on the Tiger Sports Network on Stretch. Welcome back, folks, to the Tiger Softball Complex. Georgetown not wasting any time, striking early, going up 4-0 against the Bears of University of Pikeville. The designated player for U-Pike is currently at the plate. That's Lily Klusner. She was over at third base in Game 1, is now the designated player. At third base now for the Bears is going to be Kelsey White. Klusner hits this one into shallow right center field. Reynolds giving chase, but that will end up dropping. And the Bears get a leadoff hitter on base.
Now batting the center fielder, number 22, Bird.
So 2 hits for the Klusner sisters. And that'll bring up Caitlyn Bird, the center fielder. Swings through that one for strike number 1. In that bottom of the first inning, she had a tough read off the bat from Campbell. She took a handful of steps in before realizing that ball was hit harder than she thought. Had to go back and was unable to come up with it. 2 runs coming around to score as a result of it. She's now down the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Lily Klusner over at first, 1 for 2 in stolen base attempts on the year. Madie Sims trying to back pick to no avail. That pitch does miss up and away, count 1-2. This one popped up to Cassie Reynolds at second base. She'll make the catch. West coming in to try and make the grab, but that one just getting past the infield grass line. Reynolds able to go back and make the play. Reynolds over at second base does an excellent job playing that second base position and really show some lockdown defense. That'll bring up the catcher batting 7th is Brenna Souls. So we mentioned Mullins in the circle being the tallest player at 6'1". Catcher Brenna Souls is actually the shortest player for U-Pike, standing at 4'11" in that catching spot. So an interesting combination right there. Tallest player in the circle, shortest player behind the plate. But being a former catcher myself, having that, you could call it a height advantage, being smaller behind the plate. Although you are not bigger necessarily when it comes to blocking it, you're able to receive those low pitches a lot better. Madie Sims trying to another back pick to no avail, count 2-2. That pitch by Claxon, good on the inside corner for strike number 3 and the second punch out of the day.
Now batting the third baseman, number 21, White.
That'll bring up the third baseman, Kelsey White, to the plate. Fouls that one back for strike 1. Kelsey White stepping to the plate for her first time today. White hitting 105 on the year, 4 hits and 38 at bat. She's having a rough season. A 1-1 count. Claxon holding on to that one a little bit too long. Goes wide, count now 2-1. Claxon now needing to work her way back here. Goes back inside on White. as White fouls that one off in the netting, count 2-2. Klusner once again over at first base for the Bears. White finds the right center gap right there. She'll go ahead and take two. Klusner coming around third, looking to try and score. Randalls with the relay home. Not going to be in time. Klusner scores, and Upike now on the board. It's a good piece of hitting right there by White, and she'll go ahead and get her 5th hit of the year and her 2nd run batted in. It's exactly what you need from the hitters towards the bottom of the lineup, is to be able to produce with 2 outs, and White able to deliver right there. Bowling now in the box for the Bears. She takes 2 pitches low and away. Bowling 2 for 3 in game number 1 with a run batted in. She really helped ignite the Bears offense both early in the game but also late in the game for that last-minute push. Claxton once again missing that one. Down and away, count now 3-0. Claxton on 4 pitches will go ahead and walk Bowling for Claxton. That's her 18th walk given up on the year. Pikeville now has runners at first and second with 2 outs in the top of the 2nd. Leadoff hitter and the shortstop Ingram now in the box swings that first pitch, fouling it straight back. She's 0 for 1 in this game. She grounded out to Barnett at third in her first at bat. The 0-1 pitch misses down. The 1-1 pitch, that one laced down the third base line and foul by Ingram. Count now 1-2. For Claxton, through 1 2/3 innings so far, has thrown 37 pitches, about to throw her 38th, 23 total strikes. And 15 balls. Claxton getting ready to deliver the 2-2 pitch. That one right back at her. Soft line drive right back at her. She will make the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. So that'll do it for the Bears in the top of the 2nd, but not before they scratch crossed one on the 2 hits. That leadoff hit coming from Klusner, and then that 2-out double by Kelsey White to drive in that run. Due up for Georgetown in the bottom of the frame, we have the 9-1-2 hitters, West, Oliver, and Klimish, to step in the box. Looks like Mullins will be back out in the circle for her 2nd inning of work for Upike. We're going to return here shortly. You're watching softball on the Tiger Sports Network here on Stretch. Welcome back, folks, to the Tiger Softball Complex. Georgetown still up in this one, 4-1. Kylie West at the plate, tries a bunt attempt right there, does get it down, does go foul down the line for strike number 1. Kylie West, a handful of bunt attempts in game number 1, got underneath it, popped him up, and a handful of outs as a result. Coach Chaselyn Algier, she was left-handed hitter for Georgetown not too long ago. Now one of the assistant coaches for the team, specialized in that, and talked to her in between games. She was a little frustrated with her hitters' performances, and there you see Kylie West being more aware and attentive to making sure that that ball stays down off the bat. Count now 1-1. West in game number 1. She was 0 for 3. 0 for 3 in that game. Looking to get things started here for the Tigers in the bottom of the second. Both pitchers in this matchup so far, Claxon for the Tigers, Mullins for the Bears, missing down and away to those left-handed hitters. That, of course, being with the exception of Randalls, who got hit up and in her at-bat. West goes for a check swing right there. It is good over the heart of the plate, regardless. So the count now 2-2. Two-two pitch. Mullins delivers. That one up and in this time. West leaning back, taking it for ball 3. Count now full to West at the plate. Kylie West swinging at that one. That ball dropped third, strike right there. The catcher soles over to first to complete the strikeout. The strikeout being the first of the day for Mullins. That'll bring out the leadoff hitter for Georgetown, Carly Oliver. Oliver, she got a single in her first at-bat, laced that one in between the pitcher's circle and the shortstop. Takes that one for strike number 1. Mullins getting ready to deliver the 0-1. That one high. Carly Oliver poking that one to right field. Right fielder giving chase. She will make the catch as she tracks back to the warning track to grab that. Two quick outs for the Tigers. Strikeout of West, and then that fly out by Oliver. That'll bring up the center fielder, Kristen Klemish, now to the plate. She's 0 for 1 on the day. She grounded out to the shortstop in her first at-bat, of course. Oliver at second moved over to third. She'll go ahead and take ball 1 on the outside for first pitch. Klemish swinging this one. That one through 3-4 hole, and she gets a knock with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second.
Now batting, the first baseman, number 12, Mitchell.
Good job by Klemish right there. Typically, from what we've seen here at the Tiger Softball Complex, Klemish, a lot of slap hitting, but she was able to find some barrel on that one, get that one through the 3-4 hole. Takes off on this pitch right here. Throw by Souls not going to be in time. Klemish go ahead and taking second base here with 2 outs. Pitch missing up and away was a ball. So Mitchell with the 1-0 count. That one looked like an off-speed pitch right there. Slowed down just a little bit. Mitchell taking that one. Count now even 1-1. for Klemesh with that stolen base. She's now 8 for 8 on the year. Mitchell takes that one down. Souls with a quick throw back to the pitcher, Mullins. Mitchell 1 for 1 on the day. In the bottom of the first, she went ahead and drove it in a 2-run home run. That ball going deep over the right field fence. Lines one to center field right there. That one hits off the wall. Klemesh will come around to score. Tigers now up 5-2. My apologies, 5-1.
Now batting, the third baseman, 00 Barnett.
2 for 2 on the day for Mitchell, really lighting a fire in this Tiger offense. That'll bring up Barnett now to the plate. Barnett had 2 home runs in game number 1. She now has 4 total on the year, but she was the offensive producer in game number 1. Lindsey Mitchell is coming through in game number 2. Two-0 count now to Barnett. Good hitters count. The pitch. Big swing and a miss right there, Barnett. That one, she was trying to get her 3rd home run of the day and 5th of the year. Can't blame her. It's a 2-0 count. It's a hitter's count. You're going to put your best swing on a good pitch. She thought she saw something that she liked, and so she swung. It's a similar situation right here. 2-1 count. Still an offensive count. There's no reason to really shorten up. You want to put your best swing on a ball over the plate. I see with the big swing there, that one goes up and over the press box. Count now even 2-2. So we have 2s across the board, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. 2 zeros at the plate. Mullins delivers. Off-speed pitch right there. Hit off the end of the bat by Barnett. The 2-2 pitch. That one does miss away once again. That one held on to a little bit too long by Mullins. Count now full. Barnett still working a quality at bat, although she did fly out to center in her first at bat. That was a hard hit ball, so she's seeing the ball today extremely well, which is exactly what you need from your cleanup hitter in the lineup. A 3-2 pitch. That one down in the dirt actually hits Barnett, probably in the side of the foot. Didn't quite see it from up here, but getting hit on that inside part of your foot never feels good. But Barnett will trot down to first base. She looks okay. She may need to walk that one off. Coach Thornton going to check on her, make sure she's okay. And she is. So with that hit by pitch, it's the second hit by pitch that Mullins has administered for today. 3rd free base as the 2 hit by pitches and 1 walk previously. That walk coming courtesy of Sims. If my memory serves me correctly, that was a 4-pitch walk given to Sims. If not a 4-pitch walk, it was on 5 pitches. So Sims not really getting a chance to see a lot of what Mullins has. And Mullins actually spikes that one halfway between home plate and the pitching rubber. So Mullins struggling a little bit here in the first couple of innings. Tigers, however, on the season do most of their damage in the first 2 innings of a ball game. They score 33 runs in the first, 35 in the second, with their most runs scored in a game in the 4th. So Tigers definitely finding their comfort zone here. Mullins in the circle. 54 pitches thrown already through 1 2/3 innings, 28 strikes. Sims pops this one up and away. Counts 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 count. Mullins delivers. That ball down in the dirt. Now 2-2. So the runners on base for the Tigers, we have Mitchell at second, Barnett at first. Once again, Sims, the senior, at the plate. Now it's a 2-2 count. Rolls this one through the 5-6 hole. That will get through. Mitchell will go ahead and will stay at third base. Tigers now have the bases loaded.
Now batting the second baseman, number 13.
Cassie Randall's now stepping in the box for Georgetown. She does not have an official at-bat. She got hit in that upper right shoulder in her first at-bat by Mullins. Gets a single. No, not quite. That ball not hit hard enough. Second baseman Klusner able to make the catch for the third out. Thought that ball was going to get down. The Tigers were going to tack on a couple more runs. They do not, however, but they do end up scoring 1 run off of a pair of back-to-back hits for the Tigers. Now up in this one, 5-1. U-Pike to bat as we go into the top of the third. Due up the 2, 3, 4 hitters, Klusner, Jones, and Claypool to step in the box. We're going to step away for just a moment. When we come back, U-Pike hitters up to bat. Welcome back, everyone, to the Tiger Softball Complex. Georgetown now up in this one 5-1 against the Bears of U-Pike. Stepping in the box right now is Sophie Klusner for the Bears. Bunt attempt right here. Claxon coming out of the circle. Good throw over to first. Randall's able to get to first in time to get the out. Casey missed it in the bottom of the second inning. Tigers got 2 quick outs. But then back-to-back hits, a hit by pitch, and then another hit to follow gave them another run, now bringing this one to a total of 5-1 in favor of the Tigers. Macy Jones in the box right now, the 3-hitter for U-Pike. She takes that one for strike number 1. A little bit of a late call by the home plate umpire, but it seems it's just a common trend in softball, making sure they get the call right. Jones, hard line drive to West. West coming in to make the play for the second out. So 2 quick outs now for the Tigers. Claxon doing an excellent job on the mound.
The left fielder, number 9, Claypool.
Megan Claypool, the cleanup hitter for the Bears, stepping in. Sees it the first pitch, drives that one to center field. She'll go ahead and get a single here with 2 outs in the top of the third. I mentioned it before, these U-Pike hitters not wasting any time when they're up in the batter's box. They see something over the plate and they're going to be swinging. And as we talked about in game number 1, that actually caused them a little bit of some issues as they had a slow start. But as they began to work at bats, be able to take pitches, they were able to find more success later on. There you see another one, first pitch swing, Madie Sims to make the catch, and she does for the third out. So U-Pike hitters just kind of going through at bats fairly quickly. Although it is supposed to rain later tonight and tomorrow, I don't know if we're trying to beat the rain out right now, but the Tigers will go ahead and take it. Due up for Georgetown in the bottom of the third, going to be the 7, 8, 9 hitters, Campbell, Sizemore, and West, to step in the box. Looks like we will have a new girl in the circle. When we come back, we'll have the name and number of her when we return Tigers to bat. Welcome back, everyone, to the Tiger Softball Complex. Now in to pitch for Mullins is going to be number 11, Ware, now in the circle. Mullins finished the day, 2 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 1 strikeout in 58 total pitches. Andy Campbell at the plate for the Tigers. Campbell reached base safely. She had a hard hit ball to the center fielder, Bird. Bird ended up dropping that one. Campbell going over to, ended up reaching second base on that batted ball. And there you see on your screen now, sun starting to poke out a little bit here. Should warm things up a tad bit. Wind has kind of been off and on, but for the most part, it's been a steady no wind for today's games. Campbell chopping this one over to third base. Klusner throwing across. Excuse me, that's White throwing across for out number 1.
Now batting, the left fielder, number 22, Sizemore.
I'll bring up Sabrina Sizemore for the Tigers now to the plate. The Klusner sisters were on over at third base and second base, so that's why I thought it was Klusner, but it is in fact White over at third base for game number 2. Sizemore in the box, 0 for 1 on the day. Should flat out to second base in her first at-bat. She's going to be over in left field today. Chops that one. Foul now down on the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Ware in the circle doing an excellent job so far, just coming out in relief, just pounding the Tiger hitters. Three pitches, 3 strikes for Ware. Pardon me, 4 pitches, 4 strikes for Ware. The 0-2 pitch. Sizemore chases, does clip that one foul. That one goes into the catcher's soles. We see our catchers on both sides of the ball today kind of getting beat up by some foul tips. And the ball's in dirt. Home plate umpire just going to check on her, give her a little bit of extra time. Not quite sure where that one nicked her. Coach Staggs out to talk just to make sure his catcher is all good and okay. Looks like there is going to be a little bit of a defensive substitution as well. Looks like Bird's coming in from center field. Bowling going to shift over from right to center. And if I'm not mistaken, that does look like Carr going out to right.
So the right fielder is now center.
So some defensive changes here in the middle of an at-bat. Kind of strange to see. You rarely see it, actually, in the middle of an at-bat. But Bird will come in. Bowling will move from right to center once again. And, in fact, that is number 3, Carr, now in right field. So those defensive changes are correct. Sizemore still at the plate, still with an 0-2 count. Still trying to figure out why Bird would get pulled out mid-game. Sizemore fouls that one off. Looks like it does hit the ground as she's not clearing back to the dugout. Couldn't quite see it. Souls, the catcher, picked that up quite quickly. But we will return in the box with an 0-2 count to Sizemore. Ware with the 0-2 pitch. That one chopped over to the shortstop. Sizemore trying to beat it out, does not get there in time. It's a great play by the shortstop, Ingram, right there for the second out.
Now batting the right fielder, number 4, West.
Slow chopper like that makes it difficult for an infielder to handle it, but a good strong throw across the diamond by Ingram was able to get Sizemore in time. That'll bring up West now to the plate. She's 0 for 1 on the day. She struck out in her first at-bat. Tries a bunt attempt right here. That one clips off the end of the bat underneath the catcher and the umpire for strike 1. Klusner at second base, now playing right next to the pitching circle, fully aware of West's attempt to bunt. West trying to slap that one right there, holds back, but it is a strike call. She's now down on the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Ware in the circle, all 3 batters that she's faced against Georgetown has gotten ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. So she's really, really pounding the strike zone. In fact, that was actually her first ball that she has thrown in her outing. So she's at 9 total pitches, 8 strikes, 1 ball. So she's really pounding the strike zone. That pitch missing up, count now 2-2. Souls working hard on that pitch up to try and bring it back down. West with a good eye, taking it. 2-2 pitch. That one inside. West fouls it off of herself. It should just be a regular foul ball. Home plate umpire not making a decision right there. Ware and Klusner trying to figure out as to why that ball wasn't called foul. This should get remedied after the home plate umpire talks with the first base umpire, but until it does, it's an infield hit for West. So it doesn't look like they're going to change it. So Kylie West will go ahead and get a 2-out single.
Now batting, go shortstop, number 10, Oliver.
Strange play right there up here in the box. It definitely looked like that fouled off her with the weird spin that it generated off the bat. But home plate umpire and the first base umpire didn't see anything. So Tigers will take it. West will take off on that pitch down in the dirt. Tigers now have a runner in scoring position. Oliver at the plate. She's 1 for 2 on the day. Single to center field and then a pop out to right. A lot of barrels in this game for Oliver. That one missing down and away. Count now 2-0. Being up 5-1. The 2-0 count. Runner in scoring position for Oliver. I expect her to let loose a little bit, seeing a pitch over the zone, put her best swing on it. And pitch away, so she'll go ahead and take it. Count still 2-1. That'll still go ahead and favor Oliver. Two-one pitch. Missing away, count now 3-1. Three-one pitch. Carly Oliver chopping this one. Ware coming out of the circle. First base umpire calling Oliver safe over at first. Back-to-back infield singles for the Tigers. They now have runners at the corners with Kristen Klemish stepping in the box.
Now batting, the center fielder, number 2, Klemish.
So 2 ground outs and 2 infield hits. Kind of a strange inning so far. Kristen Klemish looking to tack on another run for Georgetown. Oliver taking off on the pitch. Tigers now have 2 runners in scoring position. Klemish now 1-1. She's 1 for 2 on the day. Ground out and then a base hit through that 3-4 hole. Swings, chops that one to the dugout. Now down on the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Klemish at the plate does have some pop in her bat. She does have 7 doubles on the year, 13 runs batted in. Souls trying to get a frame there on a pitch that was about 1.5 balls outside. Home plate umpire not falling for it. From up here in the press box, you could see her really turning that glove in to try and frame that into a strike. 2-2 pitch. That one chopped to the shortstop. No interference called at the plate. West will come around to score, and so will Oliver. Tigers now go up 7-1. Coach Stagg's going to have a conversation with the base umpire right there as to see whether or not that was interference. Oliver was the runner at second base. And unfortunately, I don't think this ball is going to be overturned because Ingram at shortstop was playing level with Oliver, and so Ingram in that case was actually in Oliver's base path, which is why she had to move out of Oliver's way to get there. As a base runner, it's not your responsibility to just stand there, although you can't interfere with the play by running completely into it. You're still entitled to your base path. Staggs apparently making a good point to the base umpire. Is going to have a conversation with the home plate umpire about what had happened. But as we saw, that ball being driven back up the middle by Klemish, being in line, like for a defender, that's an extremely difficult ball to try and handle. But again, as a base runner, even if you do just stand there in that situation, Ingram's either going to run into you or she's still going to have to get out of your way. But to have that be called interference, I think is a stretch. And Staggs made his case, and he's going to walk away understanding kind of that situation. And it sucks for you, Pike, given that the Tigers do end up scoring 2 more runs off of that. But given the situation, it's a tough call for the umpires to make, but also a tough play for Ingram. Definitely a learning experience for the younger viewers at home in terms of positioning to try and make plays. That'll bring up Lindsey Mitchell now for Georgetown. Mitchell, she's 2 for 2 on the day. Mitchell 2 for 2 on the day with a home run and then a single to center field. Klemesh taking off on the pitch. She'll go ahead and take second. Thought about taking third. Does not, as the center fielder Bowling able to come in on that one fairly quickly. Strike called at the plate, so it is 1-1 count. For Klemesh, that is her 9th stolen base of the year. Where after starting off this inning extremely strong with two quick ground outs, has now given up 3 hits in a row. Mitchell taking that one outside for ball number 4. Tough outing right now for Ware.
Now batting the third baseman, 00, Barnett.
But again, 2 quick outs on 4 pitches and then 3 hits in a row plus that walk right now brings her total to 26 total pitches in the inning, which is quite a lot for 1 inning of work, but that just shows how these Tiger hitters are able to work at bats and really force pitchers to throw them strikes. I mean, we saw it in Game 1, although it didn't turn out in the favor of the Tigers. They still were able to work at bats, really lengthen out the pitching standpoint of the Bears. Caitlyn Barnett at the plate. She looked at strike 1 and then swung through strike 2. Count now, no balls and 2 strikes. Swung on again and foul. So count remains the same, no balls and 2 strikes. This is the 7th hitter of the inning for Georgetown. Leadoff hitter was Campbell. Barnett chopping this one over to White. White coming up to make a throw that was low. But the first baseman, Jones, able to make the catch for the final out. So that'll do it for the Tigers in the bottom of the 3rd inning, but not before they score 2 runs off those 3 hits All 3 hits
Georgetown 7, Pikeville
coming in a
1,
row.
up for the
Tigers
Bears.
now up
Star,
7-1.
strike.
Due up for the Bears when we return in the bottom of the 4th. It's going to be the 6, 7, 8 hitters, Bird, Souls, and White. Possibly a pinch hitter in for Bird to lead off the inning. We'll let you know when that happens. But in the meantime, you've been watching softball on the Tiger Sports Network here on Stretch.
Let's talk numbers. 1, that's our ranking in Kentucky for the difference we make in our students' future earnings. 3, that's the number of years in a row we've been ranked as best in Kentucky for students getting their first job or into graduate school. 100, that's the percentage of fully qualified students from our pre-med program who get accepted into medical school. 30, that's the number of seconds it just took to change your life. Think different. Think GC. Apply for free at georgetowncollege.edu.
Welcome back, folks, to the Tiger Softball Complex. Tigers up in this one 7-1 against the Bears of the University of Pikeville. Claxon still out in the circle for Georgetown in her 4th inning of work. Carr, the defensive replacement in the bottom of the 3rd, now up to bat in replace of Bird. That foul ball brings the count back to even 1-1. So with a scoreline of 7-1 so far, 6 of the 8 runs total that have been scored in this game have been with 2 outs. The lone exception being the 2-run home run to start off the bottom of the 1st inning for the Tigers. That one by Carr in the 5-6 hole. Carly Oliver unable to come up with it in time, so Carr will go ahead and get the first hit of the inning. It's a leadoff hit for U-Pike. Catcher Souls now to step in the box. Souls 0 for 1 on the day, struck out in her first at-bat. Swings first pitch right there and misses for strike 1. Souls pops this one up into shallow left center field. Klemesh coming in to make the catch. But as I mentioned at the top of this inning, it's interesting to note that a lot of these runs from today's game have come from 2 outs. So from what I'm looking at in my chart, a lot of quick outs in the first two outs, but pitchers on both sides of the softball unable to really finish off an inning. Hitters are able to continue to work at bats, string together at bats, and put up a couple runs. Tigers clearly with the scoreline of 7-1 doing a little bit better of a job in that. Madie Sims with the back pick. But the Tigers doing a better job of it here, but that's just a testament to kind of better baseball, better softball in general from my experience playing baseball. The teams who can really score runs with 2 outs, we call them 2-out ribbies, 2-out RBIs, really do make a difference, and those are what championship teams are built off of. And I know earlier broadcasts that I've done for the Tiger softball team, that's when they have shown their true abilities, is when they were able to do that, because a lot of their runs came from 2 outs, similar to baseball when I'm calling their games. It's a lot of what I see, and it's what championship baseball is made up of. It's postseason baseball and softball where that really gets shown and defined for teams. So it's a good thing to see here from the Georgetown Tigers. White, the third baseman at the plate with a 3-1 count. Gets back-to-back hits in her at-bats, driving that one to right field. Kylie West trying to come up to make the throw is not going to be in time. So 1-out hit for White. That's her second hit of the game. Pike now has runners at first and second.
Number 6, bowling.
So coming in fairly cold, White doing an excellent job. She gets her 5th and 6th hit of the year. Had a slow start to the year, but really proving herself that she belongs in this Bears lineup. Sims, the catcher, going to have a quick conversation with Claxon. Double play still in order for the Tigers here with 1 out. Barnett over at third playing relatively close, getting ready for bunt attempt if it's attempted by Bowling. Claxon delivering good on the outer half for strike 1. Bowling to start the game was the right fielder, moved over to center field. You see a slap attempt right there off the end of the bat and into the pole. Count now, no balls and 2 strikes. Bowling walked in her first at bat. So no official at bat for her, just a plate appearance. Down the count now, no balls and 2 strikes. Claxon delivers, that one missing way away. On the bases for the Bears, at second is Carr, at first is White. 1-2 pitch. Ooh, Madie Sims trying to stick that one. Home plate umpire shaking his head. No, that one did miss. Close call from up here, but once again, the home plate umpire does have a better vantage point than I do when it comes to seeing those pitches. So the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fouled back from the netting, so the count remains the same. Carr at second base, no stolen base attempts on the year. White at first, 1 for 1 in stolen base attempts. That pitch good on the outer half gets Bowling swinging for the second out of the inning.
Now batting, the shortstop, number 2, Ingram.
I'm going to bring up the leadoff hitter for the Bears, Ingram, to the plate. She's 0 for 2 on the day. Ground out to third, and then a soft liner back to Claxon. That one hit deep and foul. Ingram really getting a hold of that one right there. It is just a long strike. That one definitely had the opportunity to go over the fence, had it stayed fair. Wind pretty dead here at the Tiger Softball Complex. Sun starting to set and the lights are on. A pitch by Claxon good on the inner half for strike number 2. That one down and in really painted that inside corner. Claxon, that one just missing away. Claxon 3 punch outs on the day already. That one just missing. She's trying to get her 4th. Count now 2-2. Really, now we really have 2s across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and runners at first and second base with number 2 up to bat. That one popped up into the press box and down into the stands. For Claxon, 36 punch outs, on the year, with the 3 coming from today, misses that one down. Ingram now working herself a pretty good at bat. The 3-2 pitch, Claxon delivers. That one popped high into left center field right there. It looks like Sizemore tried to call it. Klemesh will go ahead and call her off and make the catch for the third and final out of the inning. So trouble brewing a little bit for the Bears. They did get 2 hits, no runs scored. Tigers still up by a score of 7-1 as we go into the bottom of the fourth. For Georgetown, the 5-6-7 hitter Sims, Reynolds, and Campbell step to the plate. Looks like Ware will be back in the circle for U-Pike. We're going to step away for just a moment. We do appreciate everybody for tuning in and watching softball on the Tiger Sports Network here on Stretch. Sims stepping in the box for Georgetown, swings the first pitch. That one getting underneath the glove of Ingram. That will be an E6, but not before the Tigers get their leadoff runner on base once again.
Now batting, the second baseman, number 13, Reynolds.
That'll bring up Reynolds now to the plate. She's the second baseman for Georgetown. She's 0 for 1 on the day, hit by pitch in her first at-bat, and then a line out to second in her second at-bat, slap hit right here. Trying to reach base, and she will reach first base safely. Klusner, the second baseman, not playing in as she typically does, and was unable to get to that ball in time. Reynolds, being a left-handed hitter, easily able to get out of that left-handed batter's box with enough time to get down that line. So she'll go ahead and get her first hit of the game. Annie Campbell, the senior, to step in the box. She's 0 for 2 on the day. Hard hit ball to center field. Resulted in an error from Bird, and then a ground out to White over at third in her second at bat. Tigers in a good spot here with nobody out, runners at first and second to tack on a few more runs. The 0-1 pitch, Campbell trying to bunt. This one does get down. Home plate umpire saying that she stepped out of the box when she made contact with that. So it's an illegally batted ball. Coach Thornton clearly not happy with what was going on. Home plate umpire showing him where that hit. But with how many cleat marks and how much dirt is mixed up right there, it's to point to one specific spot as your argument in terms of a girl being out of the box when contact was made. I think that's a difficult argument. Coach Thornton clearly upset about that. Home plate umpire is having a conversation with the base umpire. They will not change the call, so there will be one out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Andy Campbell, to Coach Thornton's point, Campbell in the box was in the middle of the batter's box, so for her to be out of the box while trying to make that kind of a mistake call, I would say, from the home plate umpire. But of course, the base umpire being far away, tough to see that. But Campbell will be out on that illegally batted ball, and Sizemore at the plate tries to bunt herself. The 0-1 pitch. Sizemore, both runners taking off on the pitch. Sizemore taking a step back as that was going. Coach Staggs probably going to have a conversation. Hopefully Sizemore is okay. That ball did get her in the helmet. Staggs does have a point to argue here as far as Sizemore stepping into the throwing lane of the catcher, as she did not have her feet set on the throw. Home plate umpire not having any of it. Staggs just going to walk back to the dugout. So a handful of calls not going in favor of either team so far. Tough job for the home plate umpire. We should have a 1-1 count at the plate, and we do. Home plate umpire does confirm it right there, but the runners do advance. So Tigers now have runners at second and third. Sims at third, Randalls at second. Ball down in the dirt, blocked well by Souls. Count now 2-1. So for Sizemore, if you're a hitter in that situation, you see your runners taking off, you definitely need to stay and keep your feet planted, because any type of movement like that, home umpires typically will go ahead and call you out for interference. Sizemore chops that one over to Ingram at short. She'll make the throw across the diamond for the second out. Runners staying at second and third.
Now batting the right fielder, number 4, West.
That brings up West to the plate. She's 1 for 2 on the day. Struck out in her first at-bat, and then she got a hit in her second at-bat. That was an infield hit that actually started off the 2-out rally for the Tigers in the bottom of the third. West chops that one down and foul that first base line. Jones over at first doing a good job snagging that one up just in case it was fair. But that one did just creep foul. Home plate umpire seen that one well. Tigers would have taken it. The 1-1 pitch. That one, good batted ball by West right there. Takes Carr deep. Carr running back, able to make the catch. That's a good play by her. A little bit of a late first step, but she was able to track it back in time.
1 error, 2 were left. We head to the 5th inning. Georgetown 7, Pikeville 1.
So that'll do it for the Tigers here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Claypool. Ladies and gentlemen, remind me that today is Senior Day, and following Game 2, we'd love to have you hang around and help us celebrate our seniors.
That'll do it for the Tigers in the bottom of the 4th inning. Due up for the Bears in the top of the 5th. Going to be the 2, 3, 4 hitters, Klusner, Jones, and Claypool, to step in the box. Claxton should still be out in the circle for Georgetown. We're going to step away. We do appreciate everybody for tuning in and watching. That ball popped up by Klusner right there. Madie Sims on to make the catch. Looks like she's limping a little bit. Not sure if she caught an ankle somewhere as she was trying to make that catch. Macy Jones, the first baseman, now stepping in the box. 1 pitch, 1 out for Claxon in the circle. Jones delivers another first pitch swing attempt right there. Kylie West in right center field, going to go on and make the catch for the second out. So 2 pitches, 2 outs here in the top of the 5th for the Bears. As I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, these Bears hitters do not waste any time when they're up at the plate. It does not matter what the situation is. They are swinging. And again, in game number 1, it caused them a little bit of problems early. But as the game progressed, they began to wise up, take a handful more pitches. And if they're going to stay in this one, they're going to need to do something similar. Swing attempt right there. Mitchell over at first. Battling a little bit of injuries this year, unable to get to that in time. It would be a tough play, nevertheless, and with the 7-1 lead, you don't want to hurt yourself trying to make a diving play. That said, I've also had a handful of coaches myself who really didn't matter what the score was, whether you were up by a lot or down by a lot. If you could make a play, you go ahead and make a play. And there is something to that in terms of grit, but also understanding where you are situationally, whether or not it does make sense to do that or not. There's a little bit of controversy in that. Claypool keeping her at bat alive, getting that one down the right field line. For Claypool, she's 1 for 2 on the day. Struck out in her first at bat. Single up the middle in her second. I'm sure if given the opportunity, Claypool would have swung at the first pitch in her at bat as well. But after the 2 hitters in front of her, only seeing 1 pitch, you can't really give a pitcher a 3-pitch inning. In baseball, our coaches used to say that if you got a 3-pitch inning, they'd go ahead and buy you a steak dinner. Kind of fun little concept, but most hitters fully aware of it. Claypool grounds that one over in the 3-4 hole to Kylie West. West making a late throw over to first base. So with that, Claypool will get her second hit of the ball game, and with 2 outs, the Bears get the first base runner. Lily Klusner, the designated player for the Bears, now stepping in. She's 1 for 2 on the day. So go ahead and look at strike number 1 right there. The 0-1 pitch. That one inside does miss for a ball, so the count now is 1-1. One pitch. That one driven deep down that left field line. It should stay fair. It actually goes just foul. But Klusner with a good piece on the ball right there now brings the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Claxon taking her time, getting ready for the 1-2 pitch. Gets the punch out on that outside corner for strike number 3 and the 3rd out of the inning. So that hit, that 2-out hit by Claypool to no avail.
1 hit, no errors, 1 left.
As Claxon able to shut down the Pikeville Bears. Due up for Georgetown when we return in the bottom of the 5th is going to be the leadoff hitter, Carly Oliver, followed by Klemesh and Mitchell, the 1-2-3 hitters for your Tigers, up to bat when we return. Welcome back, folks. Let's take a look at the upcoming games for Georgetown. As it sits right now, we will play UPike tomorrow, Saturday, as it's currently scheduled. That is unless it rains, but to stay up to date with that, you're going to go ahead and follow us on social media to make sure that does end up happening. And then following that, we do have the MSC tournament on May 6th and May 9th. There is a possibility that Georgetown will be hosting the opening rounds in that matchup. So once again, go ahead and follow us on social media to stay up to date with everything that your Tigers are doing. Oliver chops that one over to White at third. White coming up, good strong throw to get Oliver out for the first out of the inning in the bottom of the fifth.
Now batting, the center fielder, number 2, Clemish.
That'll bring up Clemish to the plate. She's 2 for 3 on the day. Ground out in her first at-bat, then has back-to-back hits. One of those being just 2 innings ago when she got a 2-out RBI in the bottom of the third. She takes that one for a ball on the inside. Count now 1-0. One-zero pitch by Ware. That one good on the outer half for strike number 1. Count 1-1. Ware in for her third inning of work. Clemish taking that one on the inner half for strike number 2. Count now even 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ware had a tough inning, her first time out. That was in the bottom of the third. She faced 7 Tiger hitters, two runs coming across in that one. But in the bottom of the fourth, she was fairly efficient. Some trouble was happening on the bases as the first runner of that inning reached base on an error and then a hit. But she got an extra out due to an illegally batted ball, a ground out, and a fly out. So trouble was brewing to start that inning, but three straight outs was able to do it for in the bottom of the fourth. And with a quick ground out here in the bottom of the fifth, she's starting to look like she's settling in a little bit more. Clemish fouls that one off the inside part of that right foot. Doesn't look like she has an Evo shield or some type of protective ankle guard on there. So that never feels good. You see her shaking it off kind of a little bit, tapping that toe. But the count remains the same now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two pitch, that one laced down towards that first base side, still foul. Seven total pitches in this at-bat so far, probably the longest at-bat of the day for either of the game, for either team. That one misses away. Ware taking a little bit of time. She gets ready to throw and deliver the 3-2 pitch. KK delivering that one through the middle. She gets her third base hit of the day. She's having a good game so far. She gets on here with one out in the bottom of the fifth. For Clemesh.
Now batting the first baseman, number 12, Mitchell.
3 hits on the day, one of them to right, two of them to center field right there. That'll bring up Lindsey Mitchell to the plate. Lindsey Mitchell having a great day herself. She's 2 for 2 with a walk. Of course, in that first inning, she had a big 2-run home run to start it off. She grounds this one over to Ingram at shortstop. Clemesh will get forced out over there at second base. Ingram doing a good job recognizing that she wouldn't have enough time to get Mitchell out over at first, so she went to the easiest out. Klusner doing a good job getting to that second base bag. Brooke Chick will now come on to run for Lindsey Mitchell. And Caitlyn Barnett will go ahead and get ready to step in the box.
And now batting the third baseman, 00, Barnett.
Barnett 0 for 2 on the day with the hit by pitch. She flew out and grounded out. Takes that one low for ball 1. A 1-0 pitch. That one chopped foul down that third base line. White giving chase, doesn't give a glove on it. But the count now 1-1. One pitch. Barnett singles that one through the 5-6-0 right there. Tigers get another 2-out hit here in this ball game.
Now batting the catcher, number 7, Sims.
And I talked about it earlier. A lot of the success for either team in this game has come with 2 outs, whether they be 2-out hits or 2-out runs, whatever the case may be. Pitchers on both ends. For the Tigers, it would be Claxon, and then for the Bears, it would be Mullins and Ware, just really unable to finish off an inning cleanly. There's always a little bit of trouble as the offenses have been making it difficult. Sims grounds this one over to Ingram at shortstop. Sims trying to beat it out, unable to get there in time. That'll do it for the Tigers in the bottom of the 5th inning. No runs on 1 hit for Georgetown.
No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left. We head to the top of the 6th.
In the bottom of the 5th. We'll go to the top of the 6th. Due up for Pikeville is going to be Carr, Souls, and White to step in the box. We're going to be back here shortly when we return the UPike hitters up to bat. Welcome back, folks, to the Tiger Softball Complex. Georgetown up in this one by a score of 7-1. Claxon still in the circle for Georgetown in for her 6th inning of work. Carr at the plate. Hits that one foul. Barnett once again showing off the glove to no avail. It is a foul ball for strike number 1. A little bit of a score update for women's lacrosse. They were in the Mid-South Conference tournament against Kaiser University in the semifinals. They actually lost 16-6, so they're now out of the Mid-South Conference tournament, looking for an at-large bid to go to nationals. They are ranked 10th in the nation, so we should see them in postseason play. Still yet to be decided if we'll be hosting them for an opening round bid, but we will see as time tells. Nevertheless, back here at the Tiger Softball Complex. Carr at the plate. Claxon on the mound, 2-1 count. Carr pops this one up. Oliver in to make the catch for the first out. Routine pop-up and an easy catch by Oliver. That'll bring up
Now batting
the catcher, Souls. Souls fouls this one straight back. Souls 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout and a fly out to center. Claxton delivers the 0-1 pitch. That one inside. Souls gets a piece of it, hits it foul towards the Georgetown dugout. Count now 0-2 to Souls. For Claxton, she has four strikeouts. Her 4th ending the 5th inning, courtesy of Klusner's strikeout. Claxton missing just inside right there. Souls looking like she wanted to throw a knee out on that one, see if she can get hit by pitch and find a way on. I respect her attempt to try and get on base. Pop up once again. Madie Sims in to make the catch. Now, interesting to note, I have never seen so many I have never seen so many catcher pop-ups in a single game before on either side. I think Madie Sims has 2 or 3 this game, and then won the other game, and then Bolin in game 1 had 1 or 2 herself. But just the sheer amount of balls that are being popped straight up the elevator shaft has just been kind of incredible to see. White in the box for the Bears here with 2 outs in the top of the 6th. She's 2 for 2 on the day, double in her first at-bat, hit in her second at-bat through the 3-4 hole. As I said, she hasn't gotten many starts this year, but she's making the most of the one that she's been given today. Fouls that one back on the right side. Once again, down on the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Claxon, the 1-2 pitch. That one missing high. White taking all the way. 2s across the board, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Two-two pitch. Claxon delivers. That one inside. White rolling that one over to Oliver at shortstop, and that'll do it for the Bears in the top of the 6th. They go 3 up, 3 down, 2 pop-outs, and a ground out will do it for them. No runs, no hits, no errors as we go into the bottom of the 6th inning. Due up to 6, 7, 8 hitters. Randalls, Campbell, and Sizemore to step in the box for Georgetown. Once again, folks, just a friendly reminder, after this game right here, we will be celebrating Senior Day. We will have the Senior Day ceremony shortly after, and we'll be celebrating 3 seniors, Megan Brankamp, Madie Sims, and Annie Campbell. But when we return, your Georgetown hitters up to bat. Welcome back, folks, to the Tiger Softball Complex. Georgetown College Tigers up in this one 7-1 against the Bears of the University of Pikeville. Reynolds at the plate. Takes strike one. Reynolds 1 for 2 on the day. Hit by pitch in her first at-bat. Line out to second base, and then an infield hit to second base as well. There you see another one rolled over to Klusner. She'll make the catch before Reynolds actually even touches the bag. That's how hard Reynolds hit it.
Player number 11, Campbell.
That'll bring up one of the seniors that we will be celebrating in just moments after game number 2, Annie Campbell. Annie Campbell 0 for 3 on the day. Reach base in her first at-bat on an error, ground out to third in her next at-bat, and then got called out on an illegally batted ball in her last at-bat. The 1-0 count. Annie Campbell rolling that one over to third. White kicking it around a little bit. Annie Campbell trying to come across. Drop ball by the first baseman, Jones, right there. Annie Campbell would have been called out. We saw the base umpire raising his hand to call her out. But as Jones dropped the ball, the base umpire changed his mind. So there will be a pinch runner in Peyton Rowe coming in for Annie Campbell over at first base. We do have a pinch hitter now, Ella Forish, number 24. She's in to hit for Sizemore. So Annie Campbell able to reach base safely on a couple of errors by the defense of the Bears.
Running at first, number 9, Peyton Rowe, and now batting number 24, Ella Forish.
Forish in her first at-bat right here drives that one to right center field right there. Peyton Rowe going to come around. It looks like Coach Thornton will send her around from third to try and score a relay at the plate. Not going to be in time. Ella Forish going to go ahead and move to third on the ball. Tigers now go up 8-1. For Georgetown, that now means the winning run
The right fielder, number 4.
is just 60 feet away over at third base with West in the box. Good piece of hitting by Forrest right there. Pitch out over the plate. Not trying to do too much with it, but gets enough barrel, driving that one to right center field. And scoring Rowe from first. West at the plate. Takes that one down for ball number 1. And I did say that the winning run for Georgetown is over at third base because it is a run rule, eight runs after 5 innings. Currently, we're at that 5-inning mark. West rolls this one over to Jones. Force giving chase, acting like she was going to go home. She does not. So what looked like an obvious out over at first base, it looked like both the home plate and the base umpire, missed that call, and they're calling Kylie West safe at first base. Coach Staggs has kind of had enough of it, and he's giving the home plate umpire a piece of his mind in terms of what he's thought about their officiating so far. So there is, in fact, only one out here. There's only one out here in the bottom of the 6th. Tigers with runners at first and third. Coach Thornton will be making a change. In for Flourish at third is going to be Sizemore. She's just going to come back in to replace her spot. Oliver up in the box now for Georgetown. West is going to go ahead and take second base on that first to third. Once again, that winning run, the only run that matters, is Sizemore now at third base. Carly Oliver chops this one into left field. Sizemore will go ahead and step on the plate, and that'll do it. Tigers win by a score of 9-1.
And that's the ball game. Georgetown wins 9-1. Today is senior day.
An interesting game for the Tigers. Nevertheless, they do come out and score. They strike early. They put up 4 in the bottom of the first, put 1 in the second, 2 in the third, and they tacked on the final 2 finishing runs here in the bottom of the 6th. Ella Forrest coming in for that pinch hit. Huge double to score Peyton Rowe, but not only to score Rowe, but also to get herself in scoring position. So Tigers split the day with the Bears of the University of Pikeville. Once again, we will be having senior day here shortly, folks, so don't go anywhere. But Tigers do end up improving to 21-17 overall and 13-15 in Mid-South Conference play. Once again, we're going to step away for just a moment. We'll go ahead and transition back to that screen before. I'm going to step away for just a moment, but when we return, senior day ceremony once again to help celebrate the 3 seniors, Megan Brankamp, Annie Campbell, and Madie Sims, is coming up in just a couple moments. Welcome back, folks, to the Tiger Softball Complex. We are just about to get underway for Senior Day, but before we do, just want to give you a quick rundown of that box score for game number 2. For UPike, they scored 1 run off 7 hits, 3 errors, 7 left on base. And for Georgetown, they got 9 runs on 14 hits, 1 error with 12 left on base. So for Georgetown, leaving that many runners on base but still being able to produce and score that many runs, just an incredible opportunity. But the errors for UPike really the damaging factor in that one. So, but a lot of key plays. Sizemore coming in to score, but Oliver, of course, with that walk-off hit. It's the 3rd time this week that the Tigers have walked off in 6 innings. Of course, back-to-back games against Midway University on Tuesday, they were able to do it. Mitchell in Game 1, Barnett in Game 2, and then Oliver here in the second game against Pikeville, able to come through and do it in 6. So just shows you what the offense can do for the Tigers. I'm going to step away for just a moment, but for Senior Day, we will have our PA announcer giving you all the sounds, and I will be working the camera for the sites for Senior Day. So don't go anywhere, folks. We are just about to get underway with Senior Day. We appreciate everybody tuning in and watching.
Gentlemen, we ask at this time that you turn your attention to the field. Every year, Georgetown College is proud to have student athletes who represent the school well through their hard work both in the classroom and on the field. Today, we call attention to 3 such members of the softball program who have represented the Tigers throughout their time in Georgetown. In the past 4 years, the Tigers have a 61.4 win percentage in more than 150 games played. These 3 have been vital to the cause. And without further ado, number 7, Madie Sims. Madie Sims, a Hayward, Illinois native, is being escorted by her dad, Derek Sims, and grandma, Betty. Coming into today, Madie had 42 hits in 55 games, with 21 of those going for extra bases, with 32 RBIs. The psychology major with a minor in sociology plans to get her master's in psychology at ISU. Madie's favorite Georgetown memory is getting trucked at first base and slowly getting up with her fists raised, only to turn to see the dugout start laughing. Number 7, Madie Sims. Number 11, Campbell. Annie Campbell, a Carlisle, Ohio native, is being escorted by her father, Joe, mother, Kendra, and brother, Logan. Coming into today, Annie had 28 hits with 5 doubles, 7 RBIs, 17 RBIs, and 22 walks. She's a 2-time Dean's List, 3-time Academic All-Conference, and 2020 MSC Champion of Character Team honoree. The elementary education major with a minor in psychology plans to student teach in the fall to become a certified teacher. While teaching, she will work on her master's in administration and eventually become a school principal. Annie's favorite memory at Georgetown is conference tournament hotel stays with Megan, Cass, and Corinne. Number 11, Annie Campbell. Number 27, Megan Brankamp. Megan Brankamp, a Westchester, Ohio native, is being escorted by her mom, Leslie, dad, Tom, brother, Michael, Grandma Joyce, Papa Dom, and Grandma Lou. Coming into today, Megan had 19 wins with 15 complete games. 11 in both of those categories come in this season. In her 230-plus innings pitched, she has 83 strikeouts with a 3.07 ERA. She has earned all academic honors multiple times and is a member of Kappa Delta. The elementary education major with a social sciences minor plans to continue her education at Georgetown and earn her master's degree. She wants to teach elementary education while serving as a pitching coach and volunteering for a cancer foundation to give back to those who helped her. Megan's favorite Georgetown memory is the team leaving conference banquet and going to Brewster's. She has also enjoyed all of the teammates she's played with who have become her best friends and the many memories made at Georgetown off the field. Number 27, Megan Brankamp. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it one last time. Madie Sims. Annie Campbell. And Megan Brankamp. Yeah, I kind of hesitated there.
Well, folks, that was our senior day ceremony once again for those 3 special seniors, Megan Brankamp, Madie Sims, and Annie Campbell. We do appreciate everybody for tuning in and watching Tigers split the day, with the University of Pikeville with a loss in game 1 by a score of 3-2, and then the final in this one 9-1. We do appreciate everybody for tuning in and watching. This should do it for our live coverage here at the Tiger Softball Complex. Do hope everybody has a good night. And from everybody here, my name is Ben Robison, and along with our wonderful Tiger Sports Network crew, here to bring you all the sights, sounds, and action from today's matchup. You've been watching softball on the Tiger Sports Network here on Stretch.